Okay, hello friends. We can start on with our research aptitude. Okay, this is the seventh class of research aptitude, and today we are discussing the probability sampling, non-probability sampling, and contents of research report. I have told it that already in the previous video that we will discuss about the probability sampling and non-probability sampling in other classes because it's a very important topic. Usually they ask questions from this side, so you must know these two samplings very well. Then the contents of research report, it is very important for you as when you do the research, that is PhD work, you have to know how to write a research report. So today I think you are ready for the classes. Okay, be attentive to the class, then only you are able to understand the topics very well. So let us start our class. Probability sampling. Okay, what is probability sampling? It is probably means there is a chance. Okay, chance is what we call as probability sampling. And the probability sampling, it is of four types. What is first is simple random sampling. And simple random sampling, in this one, the students are getting an equal choice. Equal choice means everyone has a chance to be the part of the research. That is what we call probability sampling. Okay, probability sampling, simple random sampling. For example, there are a lot of students in a class and the teacher is taking students from here and there for a research work. So any student can be the part of that research. That is called simple random taking, random sampling. Next is systematic sampling. That is what is systematic sampling? That is the students are standing, for example, they are standing in a row. There are 10 students are there. The teacher is taking the first student, then she take the third student, then she take the fifth student, then she take the seventh student. So it's a fixed interval she is taking. So nth element is taking, it's in a proper way. So that is what we call systematic sampling. Understood? Next is stratified sampling. What is meant by stratified sampling? Stratified sampling is it's a sampling in which heterogeneous groups are there and homogeneous strata is there. For example, there are girls and boys. It's a mixed class. So it's a girls and boys are in the class, but you are taking only boys. Okay, you are taking only the boys and you decided to take the height of the students from 140 to 150 and 150 to 160. Then 160 to 170. Like that, if you take a group, so 140 to 150 means it's a heterogeneous group. Then 150 to 160 means it's a heterogeneous group because all types of height we can see that. That is what we call heterogeneous group. Then again 160 to 170, again a heterogeneous group is there. But the strata is same. Strata means the boys. We are taking only one type of students for the research work. That is called what we call as homogeneous strata. Understood? Next is cluster sampling. What is meant by cluster sampling? You in selecting a group than an individual. Instead of you, for example, you have to study about the children of fifth standard. Okay, you are not taking an individual. Instead, you are taking students of section A, section B, section C. Like that, you are taking the whole class. Okay, the whole class or whole group, then you are taking a research. So this is I have taken the students an example because it is easy for you to understand. So I think now you are able to understand what is I meant by cluster sampling. Understood? So four types are the simple random means equal choice, systematic means fixed interval, stratified means heterogeneous group but homogeneous strata. Then cluster sampling means instead of an individual you are taking a group. Understood? Next is non-probability sampling. What is meant by non-probability sampling? So, non-probability means less chance to be the part of the research. Okay, convenient sampling. For example, the researcher he is from Delhi. Okay, so it is easy for the researcher to take the students of Delhi to take as a research sample. So it's his convenience. Okay, it is his convenience. So convenient sampling means sampling on easiest population. This is which is easily available. That is what we call convenience sampling. Then judgment sampling. Judgment sampling is judgment to select people. So the researcher decide who to be his research sample. So he is judging that. Okay, it's according to his own convenience. Next is quota sampling. Quota sampling is prescribed number of several categories. Several categories, for example, SC, ST, that is scheduled tribe is there, scheduled caste is there, OBC is there. Now come the EVS, sorry, not EVS, economically weaker section. Okay, economically weaker section is the EWS, not EVS, EWS is the, so there are different categories is the, by taking the categories, you are doing a sample. This is what we call quota sampling. Understood? Next is snowball sampling. Snowball sampling is very easy to understand. It is like a network sampling. Usually they ask question from the snowball sampling. We have seen in different question papers the same the same question is asking from the snowball sampling. So the participants gave other individual who suit to the study criteria. For example, it's like a network. That is, you are collecting data on one person, and that person, from there you get the other lead. Understood? That is what we call snowball sampling. Example for that is a drug. For example, in a class, one boy you got one boy who is taking the drugs, and you inquire the boy about from where he is getting and who other boys are doing it, and from him you understood that other three boys are of the same class is using the drugs. So you get three more people who is related to the drugs. Okay, then from that three again you are inquiring and you are getting four or five people who are related to the drugs. So like that, it's a network chain, like you are collecting the samples. This is called snowball sampling. Next is haphazard, that is try to stimulate random bias. That is according to our bias, we are our stimulus response, we are taking the samples. That is what called haphazard sampling. Then deliberate. Deliberate means purposefully. Okay, purposefully means if you want to take students of different intelligence level, you are deliberately taking only those students who are above 140 intelligence. So it is a deliberate purpose you are taking. So that is for your convenience and it is your judgment. You are deliberately taking the samples. That is based on assess for convenience. Next is sequential. Sequential means according to survey. Survey, you know what is meant by survey. Already somebody has done some kind of survey there. And according to that survey, you are deciding who to be taken as your samples. So that is what we call as sequential survey. Next is heterogeneity or diversity, deliberately different people. That is, for example, I told you want to study the intelligence, so you decided to take 140 above intelligence, then those who are 50 to 70 intelligence, those who are below 25 intelligence. So heterogeneity, different criteria type you are taking. You are taking it deliberately to understand the level of learning of the students. Okay, in each level, how much they are taking in the learning. That is what you have to study. They will do a research. So you have taken it deliberately in different areas. That is called heterogeneity or diversity sampling. The experts, from the list of experts. Experts means, you know, those who have already have the knowledge about the topic you have already taken. So you are, from the list of the experts, you are taking a group and you are doing a research on it. This is what we call from the list experts research sampling. Then model instances, typical member of a set. That, for example, some students are differently able is there. So from that you are taking. It's a member of a set. That is, I told you, some group of students who are dyslexia, some have so some like that disabilities is there. So you want to take a member from that group and you are studying it. Okay, typical member of a set. From physical deformity you can take, mental deformity you can take, and normal student you can take. So from each set you are taking. So model you are taking from each set. This is what we call sampling of model instances. Okay, so I think you are clear about the non probability sampling. You must study it well. Okay. Then now we are moving to the next topic, that is the steps in a research report. Research report, it contains 14 steps. Okay, so I have already told you, you must know about the research report, because when you do your PhD you know how to write a research report. First you have to write the title page. What is the title page? This is the front page of the research report. It should contain the title of the title. Title means the topic you have taken for your research. Okay. Next is the name of the researcher. If you are doing the research, your name should be there. Then purpose. For what purpose? What the objectives behind it? The aim behind it for taking such a research. Then date of publication. The date on which you have published the publishing the research. Okay, the date of publication. The table of content. Table of content means what all the things you have written the research report. It should be chapter wise. You have to mention the page number and all that things. That is the table of content. So you might have seen the same steps when I talk about the steps. So you don't confuse with it. The table of content means the things you have to write in a page. Okay, in a page about the coming pages. Okay, the what is included in the research report. Understood? So chapter 1, first chapter you have to write chapter 1. Then you have to write the theoretical framework, review of the literature, subheadings with its page number. Okay, then chapter 2 you have to write the research design, and chapter 3 you have to write the data analysis and interpretation, and the chapter 4 summary and collection. Then after that you have to write about the research references. References, you know which all the books you have to refer, and the bibliography you have to write. Appendix 1, it is a question for employers. That is, if you are doing a research about an institution, there might have some questions related to the employers and all, so that you have to include in it. Okay. Then appendix 2 is the questions for managers. Managers means those who are in the topmost level, and you have some questions towards them, and their answers also you can include. That we can include in the appendix 2. Okay, this should be the content of the table. Okay, you have a table, content table is there. You have to include all these topics and their page numbers there. Understood? Then after that, third step is the list of tables. The list of tables means you might have some drawings, some data collection tables. All these page numbers you have to write. Okay, the title and page number of all tables. You might have some tables related to the topics you have taken, some data, variables, all that it should be in a table, and you have to write the page numbers also. List of figures. You might have written some. You have some figures means some drawings, some pictures, pie chart, or some other charts. So you have to include that. Then title and page number of all graphics, pie chart, etc. That is, you have to include the chart, graphics, all these things in the list of tables. So that is, first one is title page, then list of content, then the next is list of tables. Okay, next is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement, you know what is acknowledgement means. You are showing your gratitude for the people. First for your institution, the institution from which you are doing the research. Then next is from the principal, you have to take an acknowledgement. Then from the faculty, the person who is guiding you, that you have to have an acknowledgement of them. Then research participants, that is, if you have some friends or someone who is doing research with you, you have to have an acknowledgement for them also. Okay, next is here the steps. Okay, these steps are we are included in the content list. Okay, you don't worry why we are repeatedly written here. You don't think like that. These are the steps here. Okay, this we have to include in the content list. That is what we have done in the first page, first slide here. Okay, fifth step is introduction. Introduction means you are, when you do your research, after writing the acknowledgement, you are writing the introduction of the research. What all the things are you doing for your research, and what not you are doing for the research. All these things you have to write in the introduction page. Why you have chosen it like that. Some points you have to include in the introduction section. Then theory, framework, and review. In the sixth step, you are writing about your theory and about the review of the books and the journals and the bibliography. All these things you have to keep in mind. Okay. Then seventh step is the design. That is the blueprint of the research you are doing in the seventh step, and you have to give a detailization how you are doing the research. Then eighth step is data analysis. After you are making a design, you will collect the data and you do a data analysis and you interpret it and your result will be there in the data analysis. Okay, after analyzing only you can understand what is your result of your research. Okay, then summarize and conclusion that you have to do in the ninth step. So when you write the research report, all these steps should be there. Okay, summary and conclusion should be there in the research report. And tenth step, okay, tenth step is you are recommending the people, those who are doing the research related to your topic, or for the post research, that post PhD level, you can have some recommendations related to it. So such a recommendation can be written in the as a tenth step. Okay. Then 11th step is suggestions for further research. That is what I have told you. If you have any ideas about the further research, means those who that is post PhD, some suggestions are there, or you have the ideas you can suggestions you can give for those who are doing the topic related to your topic. That suggestions you can here recommend here. Then 12 is list of references. References the books that is needed for you. That is bibliography. Bibliography means you have to make the list of the references book you have done for the for your research. Okay, that you have to make it as a bibliography according to the alphabetic order. The appendix I told you that you have to, here you have to add the questions for the employees as well as questions for the manager, like the topics you can add in the appendix. And the 14th is the certificate for this. You have done the research report and all that. That certificate you have to add it at the end of the research report. So there are the 14 steps in the research report. You have studied all the 14 steps. Okay, then only you know how to do a PhD work. And for the exam also, sometimes they will shuffle it and ask. So you have to answer it. Then you have to know the steps of the research report. Okay. So I think we can conclude today's class by these small topics, because even though it is a small topic, it's very important one. You have to study each and every topics I have given here, because it's very important for your exam is considered. You have to crack your exam, and so you must study them. You have to write it down or see the videos. Please subscribe my video, then only you are able to get my uploading videos. I am giving you all the topics, so you don't forget to do that. Okay. So study well, and we can meet in the next class. Okay, goodbye.